To make yourself look good on camera, let's start with your scene, how it's lit, how you compose yourself in it, and how to create depth. Then we have yourself. Here's a simple checklist that I use to make sure that I'm not the problem in my shoot. Everything from my grooming to nailing focus. And stick to the end for a simple color grading tip to show you just how easy it is to fix your skin tones. Hello my friends and welcome. I'm Dan from DEvisuals. Let's make you look good on camera. So what can we do to make your scene look good? Well, here's a look at my setup right now. So to create depth in your scene, by positioning yourself in your scene as far away as you can from your background. Secondly, light your subject and your background. So here, this key light will be lighting myself. I've got this little desk lamp right here, and that's kind of giving my face a little bit of fill on the dark side, but it's also lighting up the midground here, which is the desk. And the background, or more importantly, I've got this backlight here, which we'll talk about a bit later. And in the background, I've got an LED RGB strip light that lights the background. So by lighting the subject, the foreground or midground and background all separately, they each have their own elements to them, which could be different types of light, different color of light, but also it's at different distances. So the bokeh or the blurriness will be different in the background as well. And the next tip to making your scene look good is lighting. Starting with the unsung hero. The backlight lights the back of your subject, also a hair light it can be called. It basically puts an outline around the subject, highlighting all the little details, giving a nice little glow to the back edge and the frame of the subject. And this is really, really powerful because what it can do is clearly separate the subject from the background. This is how you can create a little bit of depth, even if there's no depth in the real world, like if there's no actual distance between your subject and the background. I was blown away by the results when I started using a backlight and just how big of an impact it makes on the aesthetic, the depth, and the overall look to your videos. Then you've also got natural light, but I'm not a huge fan of natural light because I often record early in the morning or late in the evening when there's no natural light around, but it's not easily controllable. So I have to rely on a studio setup. And then all that's left is your good self. Okay, now that we've got our scene optimized, what can we do to improve you on camera? Here's some quick freebies. Posture. Sit up straight, shoulders back, and speak with gestures. Smile. And one that I overlook all the time is look in the mirror. I often record these videos early in the morning, like today. It was before 6 a.m. I'm here on camera and I forget to sometimes check my hair, my teeth, and just take a few moments to check yourself. It literally happened to me where my cowlick at the front here was having a wild time and I had no idea, and I filmed the entire video. I'll pop it up now. Could not use that. Like, it was just too distracting from the message. I'm like, so I had to shoot that all again. So just check in and make sure you're looking okay. And one extra tip on this point is the lens. So any lens with a low aperture really does increase that image quality. So there's something about it where it just creates this beautiful, soft, yet more detailed image, particularly in the skin tones when you've got like a 2.8 or lower aperture. It also gives you the ability to control light more because you've got more light hitting the sensor, but also control the depth of field more, which does affect your blurry background. So in a way, investing in a low aperture lens will absolutely improve the look of your video, but also give you the ability to control light and to control background blur. And a quick note, if you are enjoying this video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. The next tip is setting focus, making sure you are razor sharp focus in your scene. Now, when I'm filming these talking heads, it's just me here, and I am using the Canon app. So right now I just noticed the focus was racking all over the place, and I really dislike using autofocus sometimes because it doesn't reliably lock on me as much as I want it to. And that's where half the time I'll actually use manual focus. So if I know I'm gonna be like sitting here in one position and not moving too much, I'll actually just set manual focus. And to do that, I'll use a hat on a tripod, go back to the camera, I'll operate it, I'll set focus to the hat sitting on the tripod, which is exactly where I'll be taking place once it's all done. And I know that if I stay there, I'm gonna be razor sharp in focus. And to be fair, I think that's probably the safest way to guarantee that you will get focus. It does just mean you need to operate with a little more awareness. You're not moving in and out too much, because that's just going to throw the focus off. But you know, I can hear the focus racking right now, and it can be a bit distracting as well. So not knowing, is this thing like caught something in the background? Is it gone for a wander? And this whole take could be worthless. So I'm a huge proponent of using manual focus where I can to make sure I'm razor sharp and you look good. Now, I also want to mention the importance of how you speak. Speaking with confidence and conviction goes a long way in how you're perceived and how you look on camera. Because if you can't speak with confidence and conviction with the subject that you're talking about, then you may as well be out of focus, you may as well be in harsh light, because no one's going to care, no one's going to listen. So regardless of how you actually look, spend some time on how you sound and how you present, because the two actually go together. People listen to experts. And this is something that I'm training and practicing right now. And I couldn't recommend it more. Practicing your pronunciation, your vocabulary, and how you deliver your point across. And seek to improve it bit by bit. And each time, this will 100% make you look better on camera. So once you've done all that, you must be looking pretty sharp, I must say. But the last thing you can do if any of that fails is color grading. So let's jump into DaVinci Resolve, starting with fixing skin tones. So find a clip that you want to work on, find the best frame within that clip, and add a new node and call it skin tones. Then I go to the qualify tab, I make the selection of the skin tones, and I use the sliders here to refine the selection. Use the highlight to double check the selection, and head over to the parade scopes and choose vector scope, and make sure you've got skin tone indicator checked. And once you've got your selection dialed, then I use lift gamma gain and the log wheels to make the fine detailed adjustments. This is an indicator of aesthetically pleasing skin tones. We want as much of the information from the skin tones on this line. Get as close to it as we can, we're gonna look good. You can also try some effects like soften and sharpen and the beauty effect. They can be really useful. They are some cool effects that any beginner can try because they require no skills. You're just using a slider to adjust the impact of the effect on your image without getting too technical with the details and nuance of color grading. So with that, I'm building my first digital product, which is an interactive Notion workbook and mini course for creators who want to get from 0 to 1,000 subscribers and build a rock solid foundation of who they are, who their audience is, and generating ideas. I'll be giving away the first 10 copies to get some feedback and to make sure everything is dialed in before I release it as a paid product. So if you want in on that, join the waitlist below, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.